The mic drop. All right, guys, it's your boy Big Mike back with another banger. I want to read this story, man, because I think it's interesting, and it's on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. And this is from October of 2023, October 23rd, 2023. Of course, you can see here at the top left by MPB News. So it says delayed homicide autopsies pile up in Mississippi despite tough on crime talk. Incomplete homicide autopsy reports have continued to pile up in Mississippi despite tough on crime talk by state leaders ahead of the November 7th general election. So Mississippi likes to get active during political seasons, I see. Police officers and prosecutors rely on medical examiners' autopsy reports to investigate violent crimes and hold perpetrators accountable. Families look at the reports to make sense of a loved one's death. Without death certificates, families often have to wait to collect insurance and settle the deceased's affairs. Delays in completing autopsies of the dead remain an ongoing problem. The National Association of Medical Examiners, the office that accredits the U.S. Death Investigations Offices, dictates that 90% of autopsy reports should be returned within 60 to 90 days. Homicide autopsies in Mississippi continue to lag behind national standards as crime has remained a flashpoint in the state's legislature and campaign trail. So we already know that crime has always been used as a dog whistle to symbolize black. It's coterminous with black in a lot of states. So we do know that. Not to say that this is what the case is here in Mississippi. I don't know why they had 2,000 plus bodies, autopsies that hadn't been completed. Think about the amount of gaslighting that has happened since the Nolan Wells case began. And the gaslighting they've thrown people in the mix, private citizens have been thrown in the mix, when really the whole purpose of Christine Wansley and Elmore Wansley calling Ben Crump was because they didn't have faith in the state of Mississippi. And with reports like this, you see what date it is, October 23rd, 2023. These people watch the news. These people probably read Mississippi Public Broadcasting. So how does this increase your confidence in the competence of the state, especially when it comes to your child's death? Do you want to wait 4 or 5 years? And we're going to see a video to where a man talks about a family waiting 4 years to receive a cause of death. So can you really blame these people for pushing? Republican Governor Tate Reeves, who is running for re-election, makes a point of his commitment to law enforcement in public speeches and on the campaign trail. Quote, "In Mississippi, we choose to fund the police. We choose to back the blue," Reeves said in his annual State of the State speech in January 2023. That's exactly what Mississippi has done, and that's exactly what Mississippi will continue to do. In 2022, an AP analysis based on state data and documents found that Mississippi's system has long violated the national standards for death investigations, accruing a severe backlog of autopsies and reports. Moreover, Mississippi has the highest homicide mortality rate in the country, according to the most recent data for the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. This was 2023. Mississippi Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tindell has called the backlog unacceptable and said he'd instituted a policy requiring all autopsy reports to be completed within 90 days. Tindell, a former judge who was appointed commissioner in 2020 by Reeves, said in August that his office had completed a decade-old autopsy backlog in record time. So he's a former judge. I wonder if he knows Judge Cole. I wonder what his level of interest in this case is, because Tindell came out to be a judge. He came out real assertive early on, talking about currents and all types of stuff like that, and people drowning all the time off those islands, and you have to know what you're doing and all this. He came up with all of that. Records obtained by the Associated Press show that as of October 1st of this year, Mississippi had 51 homicide autopsy reports that were incomplete for longer than 60 days, and 45 autopsies pending after more than 90 days. 3 other autopsy reports for 2023 took over 90 days to complete. Tindall has said the state forensics laboratory and medical examiner's office suffered from a lack of funding. So all that money in Mississippi, they not funding that. Jody Owens, district attorney for Hinds County, the largest county in Mississippi, said autopsy reports for homicide in his jurisdiction were still rarely done within a 90-day window. Quote, "That's just not where we are," the Democrat prosecutor said. "We are nowhere near 90 days. We have autopsies that have still been pending, sometimes for years." And I'm about to show you a video that proves that. All right, let's go.
After a nearly year-long search, Mississippi has a new chief medical examiner.
We've been searching and looking and praying for a new chief medical examiner.
Commissioner Sean Tindall calling Dr. Stacy Turner's new role a natural choice. Dr. Turner is stepping into the role, playing catch-up with 1,600 backlog autopsy reports. Ricky Shivers is the Yazoo County coroner and says he recently delivered the news of a family member's cause of death 4 years later.
And the families were ecstatic, I guess, best way to describe it, to have received the autopsy finally.
To help ease the load as local agencies, investigators, funeral homes, and families look for closure for cause and manner of death of loved ones, the Department of Public Safety has hired its first director, Christy Simmons.
In years past, we would get verbal reports. The way the system's set up now, the pathologist is the one that completes the death certificate.
And pathologists have been hired from out of state, Commissioner Tindall says. Dr. Turner replaces Mark Levon, who resigned after being placed on administrative leave earlier this year due to personnel issues. He is still finishing up his autopsy reports, Commissioner Tindall says, working on contract.
It resolved itself, and he's been very gracious to come back and continue working on the files that he had when he was here.
Prior, Dr. Turner served as interim chief medical examiner.
And it is very disturbing to families that they have to wait that long, but as I tell them, there's just nothing else we can do. Our hands are tied.
Hoping soon those waiting on autopsy reports give closure to the families.
So Mississippi, you could say, in recent history, has had problems with autopsies and causes of death. So the simple fact that people are putting pressure on the parents of Nolan Wells for pursuing alternate means of finding out and getting answers, can you blame them? Is this a system that you should have faith in? And if you're a Mississippian, what are your thoughts on this? Very interesting. Next, we're going to talk about that Potter's Field with over 250 bodies in Mississippi. These people have no faith in the state. The state is putting itself in its own existence above its citizens. The people that make the state great, the people that pay taxes into the state. And the state is exalting itself above its own citizens. And it wants to protect that system. I think that makes it worse. Y'all keep fighting a good fight. I got your backs for as much as I could do, anything in my power. But you guys are fighting a good fight, and we're gonna finally unravel an antiquated social order. The mic drop.